It is time once again for another Chicago Bears post-game show right here on the kenikkasports channel on YouTube. And yes, the Bears fall to 4-3 after an ugly loss yesterday in Baltimore. We're talking about all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's right. There is no better and there is definitely no best this week. But once again, our fan base cannot handle what it means to develop a quarterback in the NFL. But first, if this is your first time here, please do us a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please ring that bell for our mascot, Frexy. Look at that. #1 Bears doggo fan, Frexy, with those orange goggles. That's right. She is just adorable, Nika. How can you resist this puppy?
I know.
All right. If you've rang the bell, it's time to move on. Nika, after all of the Lamar Jackson drama, the Ravens tricked us. They played their backup quarterback, and they beat us 30-16. It was kind of an ugly Sunday, if I'm being honest here, for the Bears. And this was a winnable game for the Bears, actually. And
so they did it to
instead,
themselves.
it turned into a 2-touchdown loss. Yes, this is what you call playing down to your competition, in my opinion, and also dealing with developing a young quarterback in
With
the
a new
NFL
coach.
with a new coach. We want to remind people of all of these variables and obstacles because no two people are the same. It's not necessarily what I was wanting or expecting to happen this Sunday. If you'll remember, I chose the Bears to win this game 28-24, and that was with Lamar Jackson playing. So how wrong was I about this Bears team? They whomp us with their backup quarterback, Tyler Huntley.
Okay.
Just destroyed us. And he was 77% completion percentage.
Oh, so he's
Only 186 yards passing, but 8.5 yards per attempt,
Okay.
A touchdown pass, a 117 quarterback rating. Caleb Williams, meanwhile, 285 yards through the air. Not bad. 25 of 38, 65%, almost 66. And that's a lot higher than we've seen him in past weeks. But no touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 77.2 rating. And that interception was huge, by the way, because 2 plays later, the Ravens scored a big touchdown to go up in this one for good, 23-13.
They did it to themselves.
They did. The Bears lost this game in the first quarter, in my opinion, because they moved the ball so well on their first 2 drives. And if you look here, Nika, I actually have screenshots of these first 2 drives, courtesy of Fox Sports. Thank you for these beautiful graphics. Wow. They really show play-by-play, literally how the drives go. And you can see the Bears literally beating themselves here. They move the ball 13 plays for 64 yards. They kill 8 minutes and 10 seconds of clock with their first drive of this game. Total domination.
Yeah.
Field
That's
goal.
really good.
Field goal. Settling for a field goal. 3-0.
They couldn't finish.
Drive number 2, 11 plays, 61 yards, only 4.5 minutes. A couple long passes in there, overcame a penalty. Doesn't
score.
matter. Field goal.
Yeah.
Drive ends with 2 incomplete passes after a rush. Field goal. And we didn't even get in the red zone there. We knocked on the door at the 22-yard line. Never even got into the red zone.
So red zone is a problem for the Bears.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Ravens 3 and out their first time they have the ball. So literally, it's 6-0 after 3 possessions in this game. The Bears have had the ball twice. The Ravens have had the ball once. And that's the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
It killed all of the first quarter. It's 6-0 Bears. What happens? Ravens, touchdown. Next drive. We're losing. 7-6. It's the end of it. The fact that we didn't even get 1 touchdown on those first 2 drives is why the Bears really lost this game.
And we remember when we were doing the preview, we wanted the Bears to be aggressive in the first quarter.
I said they needed to break a big play early
Yeah.
in this game, and I don't think they ever really did, if I'm looking at it honestly. You know, like no flea flicker type of play.
No rabbit out of the hat.
Yes, and this is, I think, becoming a little bit of an area of concern for me now with the Bears, is that they were starting the season scoring early in games, even when they were losing, you could still kind of point and be like, well, at least they were doing something. And now they seem to be getting just settling for field goals, and I really don't like that. I really don't like that, and I know who else doesn't like that. That's head coach Ben Johnson, someone that likes to score points in the NFL, probably doesn't like knocking on the door 2 times in the first quarter and coming up empty-handed, at least as far as touchdowns go. Again, if they just score 1 touchdown here, it's 10-7 after the Ravens score, if they assume they do score, and that makes the whole game a different dynamic. You just can't ever know, unfortunately. And that's why you have to score when you have the opportunities. When you are knocking down there, when you are moving the ball with ease, and you can't shoot yourself in the foot with penalties. As far as, the good this week,
have some good?
It's just hard to find a lot to compliment here, right? Because this was such a winnable game. Yeah, maybe. But that is something that I think, despite the fact that they moved the ball well early in this game, they gotta score early touchdowns. They need to fix this. They need to get that turns this game into a W, in my opinion. Well, and you can't go back in time. There's no redos. But before throwing an interception in the fourth quarter, which was awful, Caleb Williams was 17 of 22 in this game passing.
Okay.
Only 5 incompletions out of 22 attempts.
That's not bad.
And when we've been asking or looking for him to improve his completion percentage, I think that was showing progress through 3 quarters of this game on the road. And there's a lot of reasons why we were in the position that we were in, trailing late in this game. But it's just, that's what happened.
So some of it was good then. Not all of it, but some of it.
Some of it was good, but we're just really limited here with the good, in this game.
It's a first season under first-time coach.
For sure.
You have to give people some patience.
It's not me you have to convince, sweetheart. You have to convince the online community trolls who have no patience and are just a victim of instant gratification culture.
Well, that's got to change.
I don't know how you change it. I don't know how you keep the players off of social media either, because I'm sure they're partaking and seeing it. So
definitely.
If you want some other good, the Bears also, they ran the ball okay, 23 times for 96 yards, 4.2 average, but only 23 attempts, and they passed the ball 38 times. I think they want to be a little bit more 50-50, but when you're trailing in a game, you're going to wind up passing more, especially late. So unfortunately, the running game seemed good, but they didn't get enough attempts to really punch through. And meanwhile, the Ravens, they rushed the ball 35 times for 177 yards behind big Derrick Henry. That guy's just a beast, man. He only had 71 yards on 21 attempts, so just a 3.4 average, but 2 TDs.
He did have 2 touchdowns.
Just watch him run sometimes, and you're like, man, the Bears need a running back like that to complement DeAndre Swift or Kyle Monangai. It's really tough when both your running backs are the same physique to me. Like,
you need somebody
you
bigger.
Want one and the other. You don't need 2 of the same. And I think that's unfortunate for the Bears, because I like DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, but you need that change of pace back, and the workhorse, and I don't know if either one of them are. They're more the change of pace kind of guys. So anyways, Caleb just really needs to make 1 or 2 plays on those first 2 drives of the game, and this is a totally different game. So I wanted to just kind of try to keep that perspective as we move on here into the bad, because there's some bad that we got to get to with this Bears team, and it's mostly going to be all Caleb related here. But
oh boy,
when you just look at the game stats side by side here, possession, the time of possession is about even. Total drives were even, 9 and 9. The Bears had the same amount of drives as the Ravens.
Okay.
I guess that usually works out in football that way when you trade possessions back and forth. So
evenly split.
But the plays, the Bears ran 62, the Ravens ran 59.
That's not big of a difference.
372 yards for the Bears, 355 for the Ravens. So we actually got more yards than them. Now, they were missing their 2-time MVP quarterback. I want to point that out. But yards per play, 6.0. Both teams, same.
Evenly split.
Here's a big difference, though. Red zone attempts. The Bears got the ball into the red zone just 3 times. The Ravens got there 6 times. And The Bears converted 1 touchdown in the red zone out of 3 attempts. The Ravens convert 3 out of 6, so 33% to 50%. It doesn't look and sound like much, but it's a big difference in this game.
The red zone game for the Bears is non-existent at this point.
Well, they need to get the ball into the red zone.
I know.
And do it. But even when they get the ball down there, I feel like Ben Johnson needs to look at his playbook a little bit and start to design some plays that put Caleb Williams in a position to succeed. That's part of his job as a coach, too. Like, we all want to look and blame the quarterback and blame Caleb, and there's plenty to blame. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like there needs to be a little bit of a conversation here between coach and quarterback about, like, what he's comfortable with, what he likes. And the coach needs to, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but he needs to finesse it and maybe check his own ego sometimes versus like what he wants to call versus what's best to run for his quarterback in this moment. So there was a couple head scratching calls in this game for me when the Bears had a chance to strike and draw blood. And then you see what happens when they do not. Yeah. And I think there's equal blame to go around. Just having been someone who actually watched the games instead of just looking at the box score and making judgments.
You weren't quarterbacking from a chair.
I am always, but that's just my interpretation of what I'm seeing out there.
For sure.
Ben Johnson did say that the Bears, in his mind, did not match the intensity of the Ravens in this game, and I think he's onto something. And the running game stats kind of show a little bit of that. Just the fact that they ran the ball 35 times against us, that kind of shows me that they won the game up front against us, And we didn't play bad on the offensive side running the ball, but we didn't get enough done on offense, period, to have it make a difference, whereas the Ravens were able to use their running game to kill the clock and to just kind of dominate us up front.
So the Ravens play more aggressive football.
According to Coach Johnson. So I would not want to be a player on the Bears this week going into practice because I feel like he's going to be a bit of a red ass this week.
He's going to chew people's asses.
And going to be challenged. I like that he's challenging the team here, though. And he's not just hanging it on Caleb Williams, if you notice.
It's a team effort.
Saying we didn't match the intensity of our opponents. We did lose the battle up front in this game. Like I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, Ravens were in the brink of fifth loss.
Yes,
so
they were playing for their season here, and they were playing without their all-star MVP quarterback. So
they were going to put everything on the line.
Yes, they were trying to save their season, and for all intents and purposes, they did this time. Whether they can keep that going or not, we'll wait and see.
Absolutely.
Now, another thing that did not go great in this game was the fact that the defense generated no turnovers, which has kind of been a signature of our defensive play. And if you remember back to our pregame show on Sunday, I did...
You praised them.
Ask for the Bears defense, though, to make a big turnover in the first half of this game.
You did, but you also praised the defense on the overall...
They've been playing great, but another thing that happened that we were kind of blindsided by after we recorded the pregame show Friday was that Kyler Gordon and I'm struggling to see who else. I know Tyreek Stevenson was out. Kyler Gordon is now out and on injured reserve, and he was listed as a limited participant in practice. So the Bears are without a lot of their defense right now. 3 defensive starting backs are out for this team: Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, and Jalen Johnson. I mean, I don't know what people expect. That's why a backup quarterback is picking us apart. Thank God Lamar didn't play in this game. It would have probably been a lot uglier.
Yeah, 50
especially when we were not capitalizing early in this game with touchdowns. However, I do want to get back to Caleb and say that despite the fact that we played badly as a team, didn't match their intensity, we still could have won this game if he had a stronger performance. And I don't want to overlook that because I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but I do want to say that games like this can be won with just a quarterback. He can be that much of a difference maker out there for a team. And these are some of the ways, you're not going to win every game, right? But you might win some of these games that you are looking like you are getting dominated on the line and other things when a quarterback can overcome it. And I just don't think Caleb's quite there yet. He's not taking the game into his own hands and saying, like, we're not going to lose today. But I think a lot of that has to do with that there's just too much on his mind while he's out there right now thinking and trying to process the game. It's not coming easy to him right now, these last 3 weeks, and we've almost seen a pattern of digression. So I really hope Ben Johnson does intervene a little bit this week and be like, okay, let's retrack a little bit. What's happening out there? Talk to me. Like I'm your teacher. So tell me what the problem is so I can start to help you fix it.
Well, Caleb is still a very young player.
I know.
He hasn't matured in his position yet as a quarterback of a team. This is all learning curve for him.
I'm with you. It's hard for, I think, fans and social media fans to accept that when they watch other players seemingly defy those odds, like Drake May or Jaden Daniels last year. But I want to go back to C.J. Stroud. He was the best quarterback since sliced bread coming out of the previous season into last season. And he had a mediocre season at best last year. Mediocre at best. He totally digressed,
maybe it's
regressed, whatever you want to call it. Caleb Williams is not necessarily in a place like that yet. He hasn't reached his peak. He hasn't reached his ceiling. Right. We've only seen glimpses of it. And I think it's just frustrating for fans to have to wait it out and to have to watch 4 quarters of this, especially since the Bears haven't won a playoff game in 14 years. Let's be honest. That's playing into it. Well, they want to see the results of the whole unique marriage just happen overnight. And Ben Johnson warned about this. He warned about this when he was hired. He said that they need as many reps as possible before the season starts. And it's still going to be a tough thing. I don't think we're really going to know the whole existence of the Caleb Williams-Ben Johnson relationship until the end of next season, until the end of the 2026 season. So Ben Johnson needs to, this week, design some plays for Caleb Williams that put him in a position to succeed with the entire team. All right, there's some ugly. And that involves the Bears and their penalty situation and some of their fans on social media. Honestly, that's the ugly that I took out of this week's game. And I want to start with the penalties. The Bears have their second worst penalized game of the season with 11 penalties yesterday. This is an ongoing problem through 7 games now. 12, 8, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are the amounts of penalties that they've had in each game this season. It's awful, Nika. I'm hard pressed to remember a team that has been penalized this much in Bears history. I'm sure they've existed. Haven't watched every single Bears game over the last 15 years, like I just mentioned. Sure. But wow, this is bad, right?
That's a lot of penalties.
And I've warned about the dangers of this, and I'm going to continue to warn about the dangers of this because you're just giving the refs more psychological fuel that you're committing penalties out there. It's their judgment. And if they think you are doing bad things, they're going to throw a flag, whether you're doing true it or not.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
that needs to change.
This is awful. And I just really, really, really am pleading with the Bears right now. Like 1 game, 5 penalties or less. Please, can we get it done? Can we just break through and have this accomplishment and have something to build off of? Because 9 penalties, 10 penalties, and 11 penalties in consecutive weeks seems like you're getting worse, not getting better. And
the penalties got to stop. That's causing gains, yardage.
It's absolutely awful. And I hope things start to move in a different direction with the penalties in this team, because nothing will kill the momentum of a game on offense or defense more than penalties will. Yeah. I've watched this game for a long time. The Bears gave the Ravens 3 first downs yesterday just from penalties. The Bears got 1 first down from Ravens penalties yesterday. It's a psychological killer to your defense. Like, we're getting off the field. Yeah. Oh, we're not.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it happens over and over and a third time. And so you're left psychologically defeated after the game.
That needs to get cleaned up soon.
It absolutely does. The Bears are the 4th most penalized team this year. The Broncos and Patriots are somehow penalized more than us, and yet they have 6-2 records. I don't understand this. I don't watch all their games, so I don't necessarily understand it. But yeah, two teams also with quarterbacks in their second year, Bo Nix and Drake May, same draft class as Caleb Williams.
So they're in the sophomore year of quarterback.
And that's another reason why I think the fans are getting ugly with Caleb Williams, which is a nice transition back into this, because the ugly side of social media for me reared its head again yesterday with instant gratification culture being the biggest offensive. And it's not like trolls. Mm-hmm. It's Colin Cowherd, you know? The same Colin Cowherd, who, by the way, last week was like, yeah, I think this Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams things might actually work out, when he was literally showing Jared Goff's first 6 games with Ben Johnson versus Caleb Williams' first 6 games with Ben Johnson, and how they had pretty similar numbers except for their wins and loss record. The Lions were 1-5 under Ben Johnson's first 6 games as offensive coordinator with Jared Goff at quarterback. The Bears were 4-2 under the first 6 games with Ben Johnson. And yet, we're at a completely different point in comparisons here.
This is cherry-picking data.
That's exactly what it is, to make drama.
To fit your
artificial,
narrative.
Fake drama to fit
Absolutely.
your narrative. Here is Colin Cowherd yesterday, 4 hours after the game ended. Well, maybe a little bit longer than that, 6 hours,
Okay.
but that's when it got posted. So he had recorded this earlier. He was doing a reaction to the Bears' loss to the Ravens with John Middlecoff, and he said, quote, "I think Caleb Williams isn't a good player," end quote. Again, a week after saying, like, hey, he's doing about as good as Jared Goff was doing with the Lions when Ben Johnson first took over their team. So
was that an overreaction on his part?
Oh my God. I don't know what it is with him anymore. I can't make sense of anything that he says.
He sells drama. That's all he wants to sell.
And he's terribly inconsistent at it, because he can't pick a lane, you know, like his whole idea of sports commentary is to be like, well, I'm going to take the most absurd position as possible before my next show so that I get clicks, so that people click on my videos. And I don't know whether to blame society or blame him anymore for clicking on it, you know,
because playing by the rules society established.
Well, we're going to make this video as clickbaitable as possible, I promise, but we're not going to necessarily like pump out bad information just because it gets clicks. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
How much of an overreaction is this? Let's go back to those Jared Goff games from 2022. You know, you can go through week by week by week, all the quarterback ratings, all the completion percentages, all of these numbers. You can go look at them. The third to the last game of the season, 59.5 completion percentage. But he had 3 touchdowns and a 110 rating. He also had an 83 rating in like the 10th game of the season. You know, like, the point I'm trying to make here is Jared Goff's numbers in the first season are all over the place. His quarterback rating was like 80, 121, 62, 113, 83, 120, you know, like all over the place. He also had 3 touchdown games, no touchdown games. He averaged 8.8 yards an attempt, 6.6 yards per attempt. It's almost like who you play matters.
Of course.
And who's on the other side of the ball.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, this is just getting pathetic to me. You know, if we're going to literally play the week-to-week carousel game with Caleb Williams, I don't think he's ever going to make it. I just don't know anybody that could endure that much psychological punishment.
I just hope he doesn't get on social media and reads all that nonsense.
I mean, you just look at their numbers side by side, and it's just laughable to me. Even yesterday, he averaged 7.5 yards per attempt. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when anything over 7 was considered gold in the NFL. And even on one of his not so great games, you know, he still was exceeding the yards per attempt average that was considered great like 10, 15 years ago. So I really just don't want to hear this bullshit. It is pure bullshit propaganda by Colin Cowherd.
It's manufactured drama.
It is. And just to back up what I'm saying here, you know, we really need to start looking at the quarterback position like we used to again. You know, we didn't put this instant gratification pressure on rookie quarterbacks. Most of them don't even play back in there. For Aaron Rodgers sat for 2 years behind Brett Favre. He didn't even
Yeah.
get a chance until Favre was injured in, I believe, a Monday night game. I can go back in time and look at this.
But the people are going to come back and tell you what the game has changed. The game is different now. It has faster pace, so the quarterback has to adjust.
That's fine, but like Sam Darnold has something to say about it, doesn't he? I mean, this guy was written off. He was a former first-round draft pick. I don't remember if he was first overall or not off the top of my head, but I mean, he was considered food for dead, and then all of a sudden he goes to the Vikings last year. JJ McCarthy is going to be the guy, but he got hurt, and so Sam Darnold's going to be the quarterback. And by the way, he's good. Turns out that at the age of 27 and growing into his man body, I'm sorry, a 24-year-old isn't a man yet, and growing into his man body, and he's good. His brain's working a little bit better. He's good.
Yeah.
Well, we might be able to get 7-8 years out of this guy. Holy shit.
The same thing happens with the baseball players. You see them at 22, 23. They are still kids.
And they come up and have instant success, but then the league adjusts to you, and you have to make second adjustments, third adjustments, fourth adjustments.
And then you're 27, 28. That's when you're in your prime.
I watched Michael Jordan do this. He literally had to adjust getting double teamed, like when teams couldn't stop him. What did they do? They sicked an extra guy on him and said, all right, well, we're not going to let you beat us anymore. So let's see how Bill Cartwright does when you dish the ball to him and he has to shoot a 12-footer. Great reference if you know it. But no, Sam Darnold, I mean, now he's on the Seahawks. JJ McCarthy's getting his opportunity. Oh, wait, he's not. Maybe they shouldn't have gotten rid of him because J.J. McCarthy's not ready. How good would the Vikings be this year, by the way, if they had just kept Sam Darnold and let J.J. McCarthy develop underneath him?
It's a very good question.
The Bears didn't have this luxury, by the way. No. They had Justin Fields, and they're not going to keep Fields and Caleb Williams because Fields never got it done.
No, he just won his first game.
But Sam Darnold was brought in to be a backup and turned out to be good. That's how he got found. You know who else got good after they weren't so good, Nika? Reigning NFL MVP Josh Allen. I found this tweet this morning from Mark Potash, and it said, a young Bears quarterback is struggling. Cue the Josh Allen comparisons. And it says right here, completions and attempts. Caleb Williams, 138 out of 223 for 1,636 yards. Josh Allen, 134 out of 223. Just 4 less for 1,493 yards. So about 140 yards less. Yards per attempt, 7.3 for Caleb, 6.7 for Josh Allen. Touchdowns, 9, 4 interceptions for Caleb Williams. Touchdowns, 9 for Josh Allen, 7 interceptions in his second season. And quarterback rating, 90.2 for Caleb, 80.4 for Josh Allen. Can we please stop this? Please. This is just ludicrous. We need... Stop trying to make Bajent happen. It's not going to happen. I don't care if you have a 1-of-1 card of him and you really want it to be valuable. Stop going on social media and tearing down Caleb Williams because you have a card. Stop it.
Somebody has an alternative motive.
The media needs to let Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams work and stop looking at this as a week-to-week operation and start to look ahead to what is this going to look like at the end of the season going into the next year. Because I think that's what's really most important here for the future.
That's a good way to wrap it up.
Well, absolutely. You know, we've shown you the comparisons. Mm-hmm. We've shown you that why you shouldn't be so quick to judge an NFL quarterback in their second season. And if you can't see that by now, then I don't think I'm going to be able to help you. Yep. Period. And neither is Nika.
Nope.
She might be able to help you with your diet though and what you eat.
Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. No problem. Anyways, well, this comparison to Jared Goff by other people, it really bothers me so much as it is, but it's because they're not looking at the totality of it.
Cherry picking data.
Yes. Even whoever started it last week with the comparing the first 6 games to his, stop it. Jared Goff was 7-year veteran when Ben Johnson took over.
True.
You know, he had a lot more NFL locker rooms and laboratories and quarterback rooms and film study rooms than Caleb Williams had at this point in his career. And the fact that Caleb Williams is kind of keeping up, isn't that a feather in his cap?
Absolutely is.
But if you look at other people, the world is ending today, and the Bears must put in Tyson Bagent.
Hey, there's a bridge right here.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. It's the London Bridge.
Well, maybe we should go jump off of it like the rest of Chicago.
Well, no.
Good Lord. All right. Well, next up for the Bears, Nika, are the Cincinnati Bengals, and another road game here for the Bears. Man, these schedule makers, rough times. You know, what's funny about this game, just on the surface heading into it, is you have a very similar situation to the Ravens game. You have a Bengals team that's 3-5, underachieving this year. You are playing on the road. You are playing an AFC North opponent. I think they're in the same division as the Ravens. We have to play the same divisional opponent in the Cincinnati Bengals. And they are also missing their first-string quarterback. He's out with an injury. In fact, they got the old man. They dug him up from the Browns, and he's replacing Joe Burrow, who's out with an injury. But they traded for Joe Flacco from the Browns. And that pissed off the Steelers earlier this season because they were like, why are you helping out our interdivision opponent? And the Browns said, stay out of our business, Steelers. But anyways, that is the next game for the Bears at Cincinnati on Sunday, which means, Nika, we will be back on Halloween this Friday with a Bears pregame show. And we will be looking at this matchup in depth. We'll be checking out the poly markets. We'll be checking out some statistics. And we might be even hearing from the head coach about what the Bears need to do to right the ship and get back in the win column after losing their first time in 5 weeks.